Monday madness for me. If you watched Friday's vlog, you'll know that I spent all day on the phone trying to sort out a script, and to catch y'all up, there's a link in the description to Friday's vlog and a vlog called Answers to My Allergic Reactions, and that's where you learn all the medical findings my geneticist found, answers to my allergic reactions, and my immunodeficiency. And the script we were trying to sort out is IVIG, intravenous immunoglobulin. That is how we're going to treat my immunodeficiency, and it's basically giving my immune system what it doesn't make on its own, giving it a boost. And it takes about 20,000 blood donors to make IVIG. It is a blood product, and there's some things we got to sort out before I can start it. So basically, the first thing I did this morning was I called my home health company and asked what kind of care they provide to patients who are getting it for the first time, because IVIG is a blood product. It can have really severe allergic reactions. It can have terrible side effects. So we were trying to decide if I should do it at home with a nurse or in the hospital where they're more equipped to handle severe reactions. Like I get quite often, like 3 to 4 times a week, I'm still having anaphylaxis. So I talked to my home health company because I already use them for my POTS infusions. I just don't use the nurse. And they said the nurse will stay with me the entire time. They're going to follow my doctor's orders to a T, and they're going to be very vigilant. They're very well versed in IVIG. And I like that because it's one-on-one, and as soon as I'm having an issue, my nurse is right next to me. Whereas I'm in the hospital, though, the nurse may not be right next to me all the time, but there's medical professionals all over the place and more equipment, so we'll see. So I got the info from how my home health company provides care. I'm going to call my doctor and say, this is what my home health company does. Should we do that, or in the hospital, see what he would prefer to do? Then he also forgot to sign the script he sent in on Friday, so he has to do that. That's really important. He also forgot to include some pre-medications, medications that we're applying before the treatment of IVIG to hopefully offset symptoms. He forgot IV Benadryl and IV Zofran for offsetting allergic reactions and nausea, but he did include a steroid and an IV steroid and oral Tylenol, which is good. And then I'm gonna ask him, because I've heard a lot of people who take IVIG said taking 500 milliliters of saline before and after really help. And since I'm on saline 3 times a week anyway, I don't think he'd mind if we did that, because I think it'll help a lot with offsetting symptoms, since IVIG apparently dehydrates you a lot. That's what people have told me, so we'll see. And I am just gonna make a lot of calls. Part of being a chronic illness warrior is you've got to advocate for yourself and make yourself a priority, and I know today I'm just going to be spending hours and hours on the phone. So now, time to call my geneticist. That was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I called my doctor's office. Turns out my doctor's out of town. He's coming back tomorrow though, so the nurse or receptionist, she took down all the info. She was so sweet and nice, and basically, she took down the pre-meds that the doctor and I discussed. He just forgot to put them in the script, the IV Zofran and IV Benadryl. She's also gonna talk to him about what my home health company can provide for nursing versus doing inpatient at a hospital. And she's gonna talk to him about the 500 milliliters of saline before and after the IVIG. She's gonna add it all in the script. If he approves it, she's gonna sign it and send it off. And I'll hear from her tomorrow about that. I'm excited. Way easier than I thought it was gonna be. And I still have a few more calls to make today. I'm not done being an advocate for myself yet. I'm never gonna be done with that, but today I still have a few more calls to make, and I have to change my port needle in dressing. I do that once a week, and I also have to take Harlow out and feed her. So let's go do that.
Well, Harlow's stool is a little bit soft. That's typical when transitioning to a raw diet. I'm not totally worried because she didn't have an accident. She was fine waiting to go outside. So I'm gonna give her some pumpkin because that helps with upset stomach, and I'm gonna wait for Janice, the raw feeding guru, to wake up to tell me what I should and shouldn't give her today since her stool's a little soft. Harlow, okay, come here, have some pumpkin. Okay, eat that. Good girl.
The guru is up, so we are not concerned, like overly concerned about Harlow, because she's still acting like her happy self, and she's not having accidents, and she's not like freaking out to go outside. She can hold it till she gets outside, and it's just,
she was annoying outside.
Yeah, outside she started digging a hole and she wouldn't listen to Janice. I had to go outside and tell her to stop.
I was gonna pimp slap her.
Anyways, service dogs are like normal dogs off duty, and she is still a puppy, so she gets cheeky and mischievous sometimes. But anyways, so yeah, Harlow's acting like her normal self. She's not having accidents, and her stool's just a little soft. So I gave her some pumpkin because that can help with upset stomach, and we're just gonna see how she does with her next raw meal, because she's totally incorporated into her raw now, no more kibble. And sometimes dogs can just get upset stomach when transitioning to any type of new food, not just raw. So we're gonna see how she does with this next meal.
Jackie is pre-packaging all the meat like I usually do. And look at Jackie. Say hi, Jackie.
I will admit, this is pretty exhausting. My legs are hurting. But if I only have to do this like once a week, I think I can handle it with my chronic illnesses. The question is, can Judd do this if I end up in the hospital? He hates touching raw chicken.
Right now, I did her food. Look at this gourmet, I call it a salad, a dog salad right here. Oh, you do so good at it.
We practice every day.
Down. Girl, center. Please.
Oh, she figured it out. I'm surprised.
Eat. Okay.
Yeah, so she figured it out. The raw meal prep was exhausting. I am sore and weak from that. My goodness. But I think once I get into routine, it will be easier. Don't forget that this raw diet trial is still a trial, not only to see if Harlow can do it well, because it's not going to work for every dog, but also to see if I can keep up with it, given the limitations placed on me by my chronic illnesses, because it is a lot of work and kind of physically demanding at times, like there for me. So once I go back home to Tampa Bay next week and maybe I get to routine, hopefully it'll be easier, but we'll see. It does have a lot of benefits, so I would like for it to work out, but gotta be realistic with myself. And their dinners for tonight are done. See, that extensive meal prep that took so much energy and effort is only once a week, because then you have these ready to go, frozen. You just take it out of the fridge, let it thaw out, and then pour it into their bowls for breakfast and dinner. So it's that easy. So like I said, once I get into routine and it's once a week, maybe I can do it, but I am gonna stay realistic. I won't do something that's gonna cause too much harm. But I'm gonna try my best for little Hippo. Hello, so I wiped her eyes. I wipe her eyes down every morning with the gentle cloth. The stripes are just from allergies. I've taken her to a dog optometrist, so a veterinarian for eyes, and she's fine. They don't hurt her at all. They're just cosmetic. Her eyes are perfect. And she just has loose stool. It's not diarrhea, but I still don't take her out in public or working until her stool has firmed up again, just in case. But she's her happy self and she's not having accidents, and you're all good, right? Happy dog? You are. Now I'm going to change the needle of my port. A port is a small device implanted under my skin, and it has a catheter running to my heart. It allows for IV access and continuous access, so I have the needle in and I'm accessed all the time. I don't feel the needle, I don't feel my ports like a part of my body now, so I'll show you all the supplies I need to change my port needle. These are all the things I use. I use this mirror to watch myself, see what I'm doing, and this is numbing cream I put on so my skin numbs and I don't feel the poke, but I've accessed myself without using this and it's a little pinch. Hurts way less than a peripheral IV. This is the kit that has all the stuff to make sure you do everything sterile. And yes, I thoroughly washed and sanitized my hands after handling all that raw meat like 3 or 4 times, so I'm good. Plus I use sterile gloves. All right, gonna go change the needle now. The aftermath. Always so much trash. Okay, this one actually hurt. It was pretty sore, and then I couldn't get the microbial patch, which is the circle, under the needle, and so I was minorly freaking out, took a breath. It was fine. I did think about taking the needle out and trying again, but it was fine. It was a little sore though, but blood return, flushing, perfectly fine. Janice asked what happens if I don't get blood return or it doesn't flush. Well, could mean a blood clot. The first thing I would do is change the needle and try again, but if I know the needle's in right and it's still giving me issues, I'd go to the ER for them to look at it, because it could mean a blood clot and that could get dangerous. So having a port is risky, but for me it's worth it because it really enhances my treatment. And I talk about this more in the port video I'm making. Janice made a pancake.
Once again, eating in front of the camera.
What is it?
It's a Japanese pancake I make, and it's called okonomiyaki.
Smells good.
Yeah, we're gonna have this for dinner, but I'm hungry already, so I'm having it for
Lunch.
Sorry.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay guys, my gastroparesis is letting me eat a bit today. I'm so pleased. I'm eating one of Janice's Japanese pancakes.
Okonomiyaki, and of course you guys see me eat again.
On camera. We're just relaxing on the couch watching Once Upon a Time.
Of course.
Pups, and we got my delivery, my weekly infusion supplies and port care stuff. I've been trying to make my dog go poop so I can check her poop. Good news is she's only had a soft stool this morning, so she hasn't had any more soft stools at all when she goes outside. She's just peeing, which is great, but I want to see her poop again so I can see if it's firmed up or if it's still soft. The struggles of a service dog owner and a dog owner in general. Let's stimulate these pooches. Harlow went too far. Ah, she didn't see it. Harlow, it's back here.
Chop it. Chop it. Really? You're just playing Evel Knievel over here?
She finally pooped and it looks great. So she just had a soft stool this morning and now she's perfectly fine, which is really good for me because she's a working dog and I wouldn't take her out into public when her stools are not looking good and they're soft because she could have an accident, and I don't want to make her work when she could not be feeling good. But she was her energetic, usual self, didn't seem like she was in any type of upset tummy pain or anything like that, so she was good. I feel a little bit more relieved now that she's her poop looks good again, but I wasn't overly concerned. Really happy. I seem to have potentially sorted out my IVIG. I am cautiously optimistic. I got a call from my home health care too, and they're also sending my doctor some orders to look over, something like that. And we got all my pre-meds sorted out. So I have my IVIG itself sorted, my pre-meds of IV Benadryl, IV Zofran, IV hydrocortisone, and oral Tylenol. And then hopefully my doctor will go for the saline before and after. And that's about it. As a chronic illness warrior, you're always advocating for yourself, and no, it never ends. I've sorted the IVIG confusion out, potentially. Got to follow up tomorrow and make sure my doctor sends in that script and signs it this time. He forgot to sign the original one, oh my gosh. But now I have to sort out this new thing. My insurance gave me 30 vials of IV Zofran to use as needed for nausea and vomiting. It helps so much with my gastroparesis and other GI issues. And then they suddenly said no more. So now I got to sort that mess out and stay on top of the IVIG. You just really got to advocate yourself and make yourself a priority to your doctors. So I'm so thankful to have a good medical team and a good home health company. And that is it for my day. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm feeling kind of a little bit out of breath actually, and ready to just relax the rest of the night and let my body rest. And that's it. Thank you so much for joining me on my adventure.